All right. Hello, everyone. I'm Patrick.
And I'm Padre.
And today, we got X-Wing 2.5555.
Yeah, well, yeah, we got it yesterday.
Okay, so we got it less than 24 hours ago. AMG posted it to their actual website. All the latest rules, points, scenarios, and FAQ, banned cards, and even an article explaining everything.
Yeah, I read it, and I read it again, and my head hurts. um, we got a lot of changes, and we got a lot to cover. So, Patrick, I'm just gonna say, let's get started.
Okay. We're going to try to make this as painless as possible for you and everyone else. We're going to cover each change as a bullet point real quick. Then we'll go into each change into detail. So you can watch the video for like the first 5 minutes and then be like, oh, okay, bye. That might soften the blow a bit. And it also might calm some people down who might be freaking out. Because, yeah.
Yeah, that's good because I won't lie, this is just a little daunting,
So
little daunting.
yeah, well, that's what we're also going to do is we're going to make this episode a podcast episode recording for everyone who doesn't want to watch YouTube and they want to listen on their own accord. So, everyone, we're making this transition as easy as possible. So we're all up to date on the current rules. So if you're watching or listening to us, thank you in advance.
Yes, thank you very
Oh,
much
jeez.
in
Okay,
advance.
so here we go. Uh, Changes in order. Squads. You no longer can have just two ships. It's now 3 to 8 ships. So you can't just take two aces. AMG, and let me zoom in here. AMG said that. So basically, you can be successful in their new transition to scenarios. Because two ship lists were generally not very successful in engaging with the scenario play, we want to emphasize in the new direction of X-Wing. So that's the very first change. Not too big, not too crazy. It's just you no longer can fly two ships. Easy
The
enough.
new direction
A new
of
direction.
X-Wing.
Okay, now this is a big change because you'll see it. I believe it's here. Yeah, it is. Lists will now be built to 20 points instead of 200. And we're gonna cover that. We're gonna backburner that. We're gonna cover the new value of ships and how to list build. So stay tuned for that. That's a big whopper right there.
Yeah,
You'll.
the vein right here start to go a little bit.
I know. Here, let's say. Where's the vein? Show me the vein.
Right here in the side of my head.
Okay. Now upgrades no longer have a variable cost per initiative or ship size. It's all one cost, and also ships have their own upgrade cost or loadout value. And then they gave an example of that. I think that's in one of these slides that I've uploaded. No, not this one. Not this one. Keep going. There it is. So they give an example. For example, the Fen Rao is in a Fang fighter. He's 7 points. He has a loadout value of 12. If you put on Lone Wolf, which is 5, Fearless, which is 3, and Ion Torpedoes, which is 4, that is a loadout of 12 points. So he's not worth 12, or he's not worth then 19 points. He's still worth his original 7. So we'll go over that into detail as well.
Math.
Yeah, math. I know it's going to be a weird transition. But each ship is going to be like that to where it's going to have a base value and then it's going to have a loadout value, which is the amount of upgrades you can equip to it. But it doesn't add to its original value, which is, Fen Rao 7. It doesn't add or subtract from that no matter what you have upgraded. But, whew, upgrade slots. They've been adjusted for almost every ship. You're going to notice some ships have torp slots when they never did, cannon slots, 3 modification slots, 2 talent slots, and just more or less, or even the same ship will not have the same upgrades per pilot. So, Owl Runner's going to have one set of upgrades while Night Beast has a completely different set. So just keep that in mind. We also have the amazing scenarios. Oh man.
Yeah, everybody's thrilled about that.
I don't know if you're serious, but yeah, I am. So there's four.
We are,
We
yes.
are, yes. So there's four. There's objectives and scenarios, which we're going to go over. AMG wants to add objectives so that new players have a clear goal instead of dogfighting, which doesn't always show a clear goal other than destroying your opponent. Which it has its pitfalls and effects, which players, don't always know, especially new players, when it comes to net decking and meta listing. That they show up, they just get tabled. And they don't understand why, because they don't know what the goal is other than just kill someone. So this will
Yes.
at least show them something.
Yes. Then they say this game sucks. I'm not playing it no more because I just got monkey stomped.
Exactly. I just got monkey stomped. It was easy. Okay. Matches will be 12 rounds. I know this slide doesn't show it, but it's going to be 12 rounds. Will be played to 20 points or a mission requirement. Players have the road system available in the rules reference now, so it's actually in there twice for planning and setup. We have the official rules on obstacles and tractoring and stuff like that. So you know what these new rules are, because all they did was just add, cannot overlap and stuff like that. We also have yep, there it is. There's the planning phase one that I put out of order. So there's your road system all laid out perfectly. You have your game lengths, tracking rounds, your game mode. We have mission points. We'll go over all of that as well. And squad building, which there it is, your loadout value, your keywords, everything there, your factions, and ban lists. Yes, there's ban lists. Oh man, we've what?
K-Wings.
Yeah, because they're not in 2.0 yet. There's overlapping
They're
ships.
not going to make it.
No, I know they're not going to make it. There's the player markers. We're going to go over all of those, and then I'm not going to go over the bomb because there's no point. I thought I had a picture of it. So there is now a 1.5 range ruler that is going to be in the packs, or you can even print it out now. It's in the document. You can cut it out. You have a 1.5 range ruler, and we'll explain why.
I can't wait till they come out with the number 4 hard turn and the slight bends and fives too.
What
That
was
way,
it?
we can have everything.
The 4 bank, or was that always like the mythical thing that never
Yes,
existed?
except in that other game, which is very similar to X-Wing, but flown with Star Trek ships.
Bro. All right, so there's a lot to digest. What do you
Okay,
think?
I'm gonna bite. What's it gonna cost
What does what cost?
to upgrade to this 2.5, 3.0, 3.965.487, whatever you want to call it? How much is it going to cost me?
Nothing.
There's, come on, there's got to be a cost or something.
So this is 100% as of right now free. You can print out the objective sheets, the range rulers, the tokens. If you have Epic, you already have all of this, and it is compatible with the current system. There, it just doesn't have pictures on them. You may see this as a kit in the future that you can get later, or you might just get them as prizes, which I already noticed somebody said for it might have been Adepticon that they already have 1.5 template acrylics ready to go. But yeah, there's nothing keeping you from currently playing this.
Okay, I'm a little bit impressed with that. It also doesn't appear as though the PDF is littered with blue text. Seems easy enough to read and follow, but keep that in mind.
Yes, for me, this was pretty painless as far as and this is a major update goes. We have a new list building criteria, new points, obstacles, but with a heads up from AMG, we knew most of that already. We knew the changes were coming.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see it as a major. This is a new game, but I yeah. You don't mind the new approach of AMG, the
No.
lull that they made you halt playing X-Wing.
Okay, hindsight, I'm going to say it was worth the wait, but 5 months of waiting was brutal. I wish they would have told us a little later so we could have enjoyed our old system maybe a little longer, but I'm honestly just splitting hairs. Honestly. I know there's lots of people saying the communication's horrible, and I understand. Yeah, I have to agree the communication is not what we're used to, but yeah, waiting 5 months for this was pretty brutal.
Yeah, I will say, um, I don't hate it.
Tell me how you really feel.
Okay, for me,
Yeah.
just for me, grain of salt.
Yep.
It's a little daunting. I already had to shift from first edition to second edition,
Yeah.
and that is still difficult for me personally to wrap my head around. You're now throwing obstacles at me, new points, new rules, and this is to an already overwhelming game. It did give me pause, but like I said, I don't hate it.
Don't forget objectives, but what don't you hate about it? I think is the right way of asking.
Well,
Take your time.
objectives are a huge plus. Don't get me
Yes.
wrong. You and I have been playing scenarios, missions, and objective-based matches for years. We enjoy that.
Yeah.
We're definitely in the minority on that, but it's a great way to play. So it's nice that official X-Wing is knocking on our door for once and saying, "Hey, we got scenarios."
Yeah.
Also, cutting the points down to 20 makes it simpler, especially when the ships have all these good upgrades and half points and yada yada yada. It makes it easy to see who is winning.
Yeah,
I'll go there. How
that's a
about
big
that?
win. I remember doing tournaments and you're trying to figure out points and stuff, but yeah, making it easy to see like, okay, I'm at 10 points, you're at 11. Easy.
Yeah. It is. It is. It really is. Because I could take my K Wings, load them out to a certain amount of points, play 1 to 4 missions, and that's a good amount of entertainment. Something new to learn and may respark my interest in the game. Let's face it, I am not the most knowledgeable player.
No,
I,
you're
I
not. Not
I
at all.
don't even pretend to say that I am a knowledgeable player. Okay, the game didn't do it for me anymore unless it was outside of the 206 format. Examples being HOTAC
Yeah.
or the missions that we're working on.
Yeah. So, okay, I understand that. I mean, let's cover the official rules in more detail. It's going to be a lot to go through, but I promise, once we do explain it, I'm assuming that people are going to be a little bit more positive. All right. So from here, good God. So with all of that, we can go back to, let's see here. We've got scenarios, we've got obstacles, we've got tractor, planning phase, game length, and mission points. Yikes. All right.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah, it's not daunting at all.
no, not at all. I'm trying to get back to the beginning here. Here we go. Okay. So, they build 20-point squads. Let's do that first. Because I think that's what we mentioned first. Well, three
Yeah,
A
how many
chips and
K
then
Wings can I get into a list?
so that's going to be 4. But hold on, let me bring up the ship. Oh no, there it is. Yeah, ship upgrades. Here we go. So this is what things are going to start with. And you said K-Wings. Let's start with K-Wings to begin with. I'm going to scroll down here to the,
Yes,
because the
it's
Imperials are
standard
first
play.
because they're just
Let's
better.
just let's just pull this right out of our hats. It's standard play. How many K Wings can I bring?
Exactly. So, oh, that's the Y-Wing. Sorry. I knew that when it
No.
said standard, yes. I was like, they're not legal. Okay, so look, your Warden Squadron pilot is 5 points cost. That's at the
5
very
points.
top. Its loadout value is 7 points. That means you can fit 7 points of upgrades on that ship. That's
Mhm.
it. You have access to torps, missiles, a gunner, and 2 bombs. You no longer have a mod slot. You no longer have a crew slot on the K-Wing.
Mhm.
So that's what you have to work with. And you can build up to 20 points worth of K-Wings, which means you can take as a max of 4. You can't take 5 anymore. And it doesn't have a subtitle, so you get no bonuses down the road if anything comes out for that. But
Right.
that's kind of how simple list building is going to be. Yasby is getting updated as we speak. We don't know when that's going to be. I think somebody already updated Launch Bay. Go them. But
Yeah.
this is going to be what it's like. I mean, just as another way to look at this, if this scrolls for me, for some reason now it's not scrolling. Oh, it's because
Well,
I'm on
that's
the wrong
because it
page.
doesn't
Hold
like
on,
you.
hold on. We got to go back to it. So now it's interact. So we're going to scroll up here to, let's say, people's like favorite ships, like, Darth Vader. So Darth Vader in the Advanced V1 is 8 points base. So he's 8 out of 20 of your points. He gets 22 upgrade slot or 22 upgrade points. But
Yeah.
he gets 2 force slots, a tech
Mhm.
slot, a what is that? Not is it a sensor slot? I'm so used to saying something else. Yes, a
Is that
sensor
little
upgrade. I
dish?
got it right this
Yeah.
time. A missile and then 2 modification slots.
Yeah, because he's not powerful enough.
He isn't powerful enough. And then you'll see that Tempest Squad has 3 cost and 4 upgrades values, or a loadout value of 4, and then it can take 2 modifications, and then only a sensor slot. It doesn't have access to the tech or an elite or a missile slot. So you're really going to have to load out a ship, and sometimes you won't be able to because it doesn't have that cost. And then you'll see it's like, okay, well, Zertic Storm is worth 3, so is a Tempest Squadron. That's worth 3. Well, like, that doesn't make any sense. And it's like, well, because it has access to different upgrade slots. So I understand you're saying, well, one's 3 points and the other one's 3 points. Why are they the same cost? And it's because they don't want you spamming a bunch of these at 2. Zertek is probably too expensive at 4. So they dropped them down to 3. You can take them along with the Tempest Squadron instead of just spamming Tempest Squadron, because that's what you used to have to do. That's how you used to have to list build. You're like, well, I don't want to take Zertek. It's like, too expensive. It doesn't fit with my squad, so I'm not going to take Zertek. And now you can, because it fits with the other ones, and it kind of makes list building just a little bit better. This is in my face. Hold on, I got to move this because now this is covering up my mouth. There we
Hate
go.
when that happens.
I don't think anyone else hates it.
We are a well-oiled machine
Oh,
here at
we are
Recon
perfect.
Bait Gaming. Okay, let me just say
There we go.
we are a well-oiled machine.
Super well oiled. Yasby live. Yasby.app. Yes, it is live. So
Moisturize me,
you,
moisturize
you
me.
can go to Yasby.app right now and take a look. So the people who did this, which is AMG, they just did an interview with Fly Better. You can go listen to them. They go into all details of why they did it this way. I happen to personally agree with how this is. What is your thought, Pradre? Do you like this now?
Do I like it?
Yeah. Do you like
Uh,
the fact that
okay,
you know
let
that
me.
your K Wing is 5 points done? You know you can take 4. You know that you have 7 points per K Wing to
Yes,
spend.
it's very simple. It is very simple. The only thing I don't like is I will never get a chance to play my K-Wings.
Okay. But besides that,
Well, no, that is a big thing for a lot of people
true.
because um, they're, das kaputt in standard. You don't, nope, 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 and nope.
Yep.
Extended. And most guys want to play in the competitive realm. Good, go for them, and that's fantastic. So all you guys that are used to going on to the Tuesday night specials or the Saturday morning Star Wars X-wing mini tournaments that are all over the United States. I mean, what we've been doing for 7 years. Um, yeah, I'm done.
Yeah. Well,
I'm because I can't bring my K-wings and play in that match. Period! Exclamation point.
so
Now, if I want to play it extended, I can.
would you try taking something else now that there's scenarios and you could quickly just build up a squad?
Well, here's where the bitterness kind of sets in for me, Patrick. I spent money on those ships that were sold to me to use in a game
Hmm.
that I can no longer use in a game. So, am I going to get a refund? Pretty sure no, right?
It's 8K
Um,
wings at $20 a pop.
okay, and I do own a few K-wings. I won't kid you. But, can I play them in how you and I play in the scenarios and with Hotak? Yeah, I could still play those and have a great time. Now, what
Oh,
does that mean
well,
for,
what
um
about for people who just like kitchen table? So you're a kitchen table player. Would you play this in kitchen table format?
yeah, because that would have to be extended,
Excellent. All right. So there you
okay,
go.
right? So, I got no problem with that. Now, will I get to go to a tournament and enjoy the camaraderie of everybody that I've known for 7 years and play with them? No. Can I still go to the tournament? Oh, absolutely. Can I
Yep.
bring something that I'm not strong in? Absolutely. Hopefully, there'll be a lot of other people in the same boat as me, uh, but that's not going to
No,
happen.
I mean not probably for a while, but I don't know. I'm very excited about this because I know a lot of people have fallen away from X-wing because it's been so the same. I like so.
And I'm one of them.
Oh, I know,
I
but I just like let's go over some of these super quick because a lot of these point out or stand out. I want to go over like let's just start with the decimator. So as you can see, like Rear Admiral Chirno, I love flying rack. He's 9 points with
mhm.
35 upgrades points, and he
Yeah.
gets 3 crew slots, a gunner, bomb, modification, the title, a talent slot for 9 points. The rest of them are 8 points.
Now I am going to look at him. I'm going to try and look at him through somebody who is brand spanking new to X-Wing,
Yeah.
okay? And the reason I say that is even a brand spanking new person is going to look at that decimator and all the goodies that you could put on them and how much extra you have, and you're going,
Yeah.
"Holy crow! This is just." But this other guy gets this, and he's nowhere close. That this seems like I'm going to get trounced on, and the answer is no. It just you have to step away from common sense or what you think is common sense. This is X-Wing. Common sense does not matter in X-Wing. You have to look at the cards, the great equalizers. So don't be put off by what you're hearing here.
No.
I really, this is important because
Oh yeah.
believe it or not, they're trying to really bring this game into balance.
Well, so let's for balance purposes, like when you build the list, which is what they explained, you had to make sacrifices. You couldn't put all of the upgrades you wanted on every ship, and it was limiting to that ship, which could make it not playable, let's be honest, or it could
Sure.
make it to where you're like, well, you know what? I can take it, but now I'm just going to take off these 2 things so I can throw in another naked ship. And it's like, okay, well, yeah, I could see your point. There's no reason to put all these upgrades on the ship. Now, which I'm sorry, AMG, you kind of took our idea. We did this about a year ago. It was
Yeah.
called, our quick build or the other name for it, but it was basically our quick build league to where
Yeah.
you had a certain amount of points you had to build in. So let's say it was 75. That would make it a quick build threat of 3, but you could load that ship as many points as you want up to 75 points, and then you could go in and play it up to a threat of 8, and then your teammates would have the same. So
So
this is the same thing.
so thanks for watching,
Yeah,
AMG.
thanks, AMG,
We
for taking our
appreciate
idea.
you, the support.
Yeah, so this is the same thing. It's a quick build, which is, let's say 8, or a quick build, out of 20, this is 8. And then it's like, okay, you can throw this many upgrades up to this point because then that would make it this threat level or this threshold. And there you go. Now you can load it up with as much nonsense as you want and try to make it something other than what it was, which, you had to take this upgrade, you had to take that upgrade, and if you didn't take this, you had to take that. Now it's, no, I can fit all the stuff that I want. I don't have to, and I can prove that this upgrade works on this ship like, I always wanted. So, yeah, modular quick builds, exactly. That's what we did. We
Yeah,
made
we did,
modular quick builds,
and it
and it
was fun.
worked.
It worked. It was fun.
Oh
Everybody
man.
enjoyed themselves.
We had a blast playing that league. It
Yep.
was absolutely top notch. All right. Oh,
Well,
all right, let me turn off this here. Oh no, that's the border. There you go. Ship upgrades. Goodbye. Now let's go to upgrades. Oh, let me turn off the slideshow as well. There we go. All right, so this is the upgrades you're going to see, and we'll go over again them real quick. It is all one sheet, so you'll have to get used to that. But you'll notice it's got a cost. It says what it's on, whether it's standard or extended, and so on and so forth. So not much has changed other than certain things have gone way up in cost, way down in cost, or certain things on it may have changed. But as you can see, one fixed price. Everything is one fixed price. There's no, alternate costs to anything. But I mean, let's just look real quick. You've got all of the titles. Those are technically now free. We'll go into that as well. None of them are going to cost anything because they are going to be permanent parts of the ship. That's it.
right.
It's, there's different cards and stuff like that. But yeah, that's the great part. Not much has changed with upgrades. Those are relatively staying the same. It's just now the upgrade cost per ship doesn't cost towards your actual points towards the ship. Yeah, and we'll do an entire different episode on points and stuff like that because we don't want to clutter this up with going over points and what you can take in list building. We'll do that.
We're trying to break this down so everybody could get an idea.
Exactly.
And then, we'll help you do your deep research later.
Exactly. All right. Now, scenarios. Let's cover in scenarios. And I bleep myself on purpose because I don't like to swear. All right. Get rid of upgrades. Bring up my slideshow here. All right. Scenarios. You're going to notice a few things like I did. They basically they're kind of cookie cutter. They're relatively the same, but they do have their own little twist. And chat, let me know if you guys can read that properly. But it's 6 asteroids. You got or 6 obstacles, sorry. Asteroids, debris, gas clouds. You set up a middle little token there, whatever that could be. Could be a satellite, could be some cargo, whatever. It's in the dead middle. Now, Robert, what did we learn about mats when we tried our have mat can't travel?
Not all mats are created equal. Some mats are not cut to the right size. So measure as best as you can.
So this goes for all you casuals and also all you tournament people.
Wait, I got to go even further.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, not all mats are created equal. Not all templates are created equal. Wait, gotta go.
Yeah.
Not all ship bases are created equal.
Not all cardboard is created equal. But yeah.
Yeah. So
just keep that in mind when you guys are doing this. It's not going to measure perfect every time. We have mats that are like 37 inches wide, some that are 35 and like a half inches wide.
And sometimes they're 36 inches by 35.
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes they're not square. So
yeah.
In this scenario, I believe all of them are the same when it comes to placing the, which I don't think you can call them obstacles. They're more like remotes. But anyways, they say obstacles. So you put one in the middle. You then measure from that one because the one player places one. The second player places one. That counts as one. And then the second player, or the first player again places a second one. This second player places a second one. That counts as 2. So there's 2 rounds of that, but the first one always starts in the middle. And it has to be range 2 to 4 of your board edge. So that's another quick thing. I can't set mine up on Robert's side of the board. I have to set it up on my side of the board from range 2 to 4 of my board edge. So you actually can put them to the, if this is the, where's my finger? So if this is the mat, this little box right here, like I can put one like kind of close to this board edge. It doesn't have to be 2 to 4 here, but it does have to be 2 to 4 from my board edge. And for you people listening on, through the podcast, it just means it's kind of like straight back and forth. You technically don't have to worry about the side to side. However, they have to be range 1 to 3 of each other. or no, not 1 to 3. It's, I believe, at range 3, and it's 2 to 4 of the board edge. Second satellite must be placed within 2 to 4 of the opponent's board edge. Once all the satellites have been placed, then you place obstacles. The only rule there is you can't overlap a satellite. So they still follow the same rules. They have to be range 2 of the board edge all around, but they can't be sitting on top of a satellite. You can put one right in front of it. You can put it touching. But yeah. And then it's the remaining 4 satellites at range 3 of the center satellite and beyond range 2 of each other satellite. So all of them have to be range 3 of that center satellite. So, I mean, to give you guys the example, sorry, I'm flipping back and forth. I just want to give you guys the examples here because...
Right.
And I'm sorry for you guys listening on the podcast.
Yeah. But, I'm sure if you were watching, you would get a better idea.
Exactly. So this is an example of what it would look like if Robert set up his and I set up mine. And then if you set up the rocks. So you get like a nice meaty center. Lots of, satellites, lots of rocks or gas clouds. Lots of stuff. You get a great center of the board, and everything has to be within that bubble.
So get your pilot wings on. You're going to learn how to fly.
Exactly. I mean, because, well, for an example with that scenario, if we can go back, there we go. Scoring for this one is you have to be range 0 to 1 of the satellite at the end of the round. If you do, you score 1 point for every ship, as long as there's no ship that is an enemy ship or an opponent ship that is near the same satellite at range 0 to 1, unless you happen to have more ships range 0 to 1 of that little satellite. And it's a small base counts as 1, a medium and large base count as 2. So if you have just a little ship next to a medium base and they're both range 1 or 0,
K-Wing. Oh, wait.
or K-Wing, then bam, the medium base scores a point. And you can keep going. If there's 3 small ships and only a medium base, then the 3 small ships score that 1 point. So that's one of them.
So you have to use some tactics and strategy here, guys.
Oh yeah, this is not a straight, I'm just going to go over the board and then wipe you off the table. It doesn't work like that anymore. And we'll explain later.
Your power meta won't work here.
Yeah, you have no power here. All right, so whoever gets to 20 points...
Patrick,
what?
We're live right now, right?
Yeah, of course we are.
And sometimes things happen that we have no control over.
True?
I hate to say this, but I actually have to go.
Oh, yes. No, that's fine. Go right ahead.
I wish I could
thing.
stay.
I'm going to keep going.
Whole thing. I really, really do.
I know.
Because, I'm just going to break with, everything here and just say, guys, don't panic.
Yeah.
Try it out.
Oh, yeah. Don't panic. Ooh, can I do? Oh, I can do this. I'm just Patrick now.
It's okay. It's all right. We'll get through this. We got through 2.0.
Oh, we did get through 2.0.
We got through points. We got through all of this. We'll get there.
There we go.
But with that being said, I'm saying give it a try.
Yeah, please give it a try.
And that's me, Padre, the guy who hates everything.
Well, you have to give it a try because that's part of our show.
Yeah, that's true.
All right.
So with that being said, sorry guys, I got to bail.
All right. Talk to you later, Robert.
Bye.
All right. Alone at last. So with the scenario, you're going to score, or whomever scores 20 points first is the winner. If you both are at 20 points, then you keep playing until one of you is ahead. That's about it. You play to 12 rounds, because that's the new round counting, unless the scenario specific or says otherwise, or if somebody gives a different type of situation to where they play to 8 or 15. And if you table your opponent, then yeah, the points don't matter. You've won, even though they might have 18 and you had 3. If you table your opponent, you still win, as long as it's before the 12 rounds. And if they haven't met the scenario, because there is other scenarios to where if you, capture everything, you could possibly just win the game. So with that, they did mention today on the podcast for Fly Better that there will be ties. There will be instances to where it's round 12. You've not only scored the same amount of points, after you've tallied, it doesn't matter who killed who. You're like, oh, well, we both have, 15 points. Okay, it's a tie. There's no more final salvos. That's what they said. That isn't written anywhere yet, but that's what they said on the podcast. So we'll have to pay attention to that and see what happens. Um, but this is how it is. End of the game happens. You check to see who's won, and that could be before the round 12 or at round 12. But yeah, this is one scenario. There's another scenario to where that you have to pick up little cargoes and fly around with them every time, or every turn you still have the cargo, you earn a point, but there are things that make you drop the cargo, or you can drop it on your own accord. There's another one to where you can use an action during a activation phase to capture a satellite, but there are rules to that satellite. Like if your opponent already has a marker on that satellite, you have to roll a die to capture it. If it's a hit or a crit, you do. If not, you just remove their token so they can't score any more points. You don't get to put your token on that satellite and capture it. So a lot of the scenarios are the same, but they're really not, because it requires different tactics. There's even ones to where you can be range 0 to 2 of the little tokens instead of range 0 to 1. So, I mean, go playtest them. It's going to be, I think, amazing, because we literally have missions that are almost exactly like this that we've been playtesting for months, and it is a blast to have an objective that isn't always just pummel my opponent. And I think you're going to see that when the lists start to form, to where people are going to be building lists that aren't necessarily there to wipe their opponent. It might be super defensive because they know that they can just sit there and capture 4 satellites every turn and score 4 points a turn. And it's like, okay, well, he's scoring 4 points a turn. I'm trying to half points him. I mean, by the time I half points everything, it's only going to be 10 points. He's going to score that many more points than me or she. A lot faster than I am. I have to come up with something other than just trying to kill him. I need to capture some of these objectives as well. So just seriously keep that in mind when you're playing. All right. Let's go over all the rule changes. We'll go into good detail here. So when attacking, because they did tell us some stuff, not everything. While performing an attack, you can attack at range 0. Attack dice cannot be added unless stated otherwise. So keep in mind there might be cards later on that let you. And there's also certain ships that already can attack at range 0 and treat it at range 1. While performing a primary attack at range 0, attack dice cannot be added unless otherwise stated. I don't know why I put that twice. While performing a primary attack at range 0, the attacker's dice can be modified only by spending force for their default effect, which means changing a hit or a focus to a hit. So force users, you're going to have a big advantage when attacking at range 0. That's a thing. So just keep that in mind. That's kind of a big deal, because I know they were saying, no, you can't modify your dice. Now, of course, the force can, because it's the force. And then while defending at range 0, enemy ships cannot cancel, modify, or remove dice as a result. So you can't, crack shot something, or you can't do anything to get rid of their dice. That's it. Whatever they roll, and they can modify them as well. Yeah, Sunfac has 3 talent slots, but I'm almost positive they changed the ship's ability to where it has to fully execute a maneuver to do the whole nonsense thing, but don't quote me on that yet. That was like when we were all in like the chat, just all yammering on, and I like overheard it, and I was like, oh, cool, they fixed it. Okay, obstacles. There were a few things that were, I guess, clarified, because we heard one thing, but I mean, other people heard, I guess, the correct stuff. But here we go. Asteroids. When you hit an asteroid, you suffer damage, you roll a die, and suffer a hit, regardless of if it's a hit or a crit. So it's possibly 2 damage, which is pretty significant. I'm not going to go over Blaze, because Blaze is its own pages of nonsense. Debris Cloud. You get a stress token no matter what. You roll an attack die. On a hit, the ship suffers a crit damage. On a crit result, the ship suffers 1 crit damage. So that's a little bit different from what it was. It used to be only crits, and now it's hit and crits. And then you do suffer a crit when you roll the crit. So it's a little bit weird. I don't know why the asteroid doesn't have the crit result, but yeah, whatever. You've got the Chafe Clouds. They said it breaks all locks onto it. Sign a jam token, roll an attack die. On a hit or a crit result, the ship is assigned a stress token now, not just a jam token. Gas Clouds. This one I love, because it's wink, wink, and ion cloud. It breaks all locks on it. It then is assigned a strain token. Roll 1 attack die. On a hit result, the ship is assigned 1 ion token. On a crit result, the ship is assigned 3 ion tokens. So that's pretty huge. If you are facing another opponent and they're like, remember when I could just fly through these and fly off into the sunset and it was not a problem? I didn't have to suffer the consequences. Not anymore. You get an ion. You've got loose cargo, which is assign 1 stress assign 1 strain token. Sorry. Roll an attack die, and then the ship is assigned 1 stress on a hit or a crit. Spare parts, it's assigned a strain. Roll attack die, hit or crit, it's assigned 1 stress token. You see kind of the pattern here. You've got spare parts. You've got your debris cloud. That's the ship cannot perform attacks. That's if it's on top of it. You've got the ship cannot acquire locks and cannot be locked while it's on top of a shave cloud. And the glass cloud, the ship cannot acquire locks and cannot be locked. The ship cannot perform attacks. So that's pretty significant. We've seen that already on some of the tournaments that we've seen online. Thank you, Dion. Thank you, whomever else is, showing their local leagues and explaining the rules and stuff like that. So pretty big changes there. All right. The only thing they added was cannot to the tractor. We knew about this. This is you cannot cause a ship to move through or overlap an obstacle. This probably is also on your own ship. You can't tractor it off of a rock. So, because it doesn't say friendly or unfriendly, but we'll, let the rules lawyers go through that. But I'm pretty sure that that's what it is. Once you're there, you can't move off that rock. And I don't think, let's read this real quick. Mover template, applying effects. Yeah. This move cannot cause the ship to move through or overlap an obstacle. After a ship is moved this way, if the opponent moved it, the ship player may choose to have the ship rotate 90 degrees, which everyone always forgets. And while a tractor ship defends, it rolls 1 less fewer defense die. So, yeah, that they were talking about. They don't want people being tractored onto rocks anymore. It wasn't, a fun part of the game. Especially like, Lord Jason said, Sunfuck. So, which really sounds like something else when you say it fast. Sunfuck. We've got the planning phase. Yay! We have rules. They're beautiful. Which we've already play tested this a ton. We know this, but I'm going to read it out anyways for you. Roads, RPO, whatever you want to call it. You roll 3 dice per player. Whoever has the most crits, focus, hits, gets to be the first player. You don't get a choice, and that determines who the first player is after dials have been set, and also to set up the game. So pay attention to that, because it might change depending on the scenario that you're playing. So it might be to where you roll after things have been set up. Just keep an eye on that. Make sure you're following along. Don't just roll at the beginning of the game and expect that that's how first things are, because again, we do scenarios. Pay attention to the reading. Their scenarios might change. There might be difference, because I know there's one where there's a red and a blue player, so just keep that in mind. Things might change as the game progresses. Game length. This we covered. It's now 12 round standard. Again, that can change depending on the scenario or the tournament, so it's not always going to be 12. It could be shorter. It could be longer. It could be to where you go to, a place like Gen Con, or even you go to, the tournament that's just coming up that I just said 5 minutes ago. The one in Chicago. There, the one. To where there's some demo games. And they're teaching people how to play X-Wing, and the round count is lower. So, that might be why they're doing this, to help new players go through fast. It's like, okay, you guys are playing to 8 turns, have at it. Or you're doing a nice demo for somebody and you don't want to go all 12 rounds because it's not going to make it to 12 rounds. Or you don't want to sit there and just have one ship chasing another ship for a half hour. So this is, I think, an excellent addition. It's going to make things a little bit smoother for everybody, especially for newer players. All right. Mission points. So as you can see, you see that little green right there? It says deficit. Which I think I put that as, of course I didn't put it as the next one. Why would I? There it is, deficit. Let's cover what that is. Because we all know what a deficit is, at least in the sense of the literal definition. But here it's if a squad's points total of a player is less than a maximum allowed, which we know is 20, subtract the total squad points of their squadron from the maximum to determine that player's deficit before the game begins. And then that player that, didn't shave his points gets your points. So if you all of a sudden want to fly 3 aces, it totals to 19 points. You can do that. That's perfectly fine. But that 1 point that you didn't spend or reorganize is going to your opponent automatically towards the points of the scenario. So keep that in mind. You can bid. It's not a bid though. You can't call it a bid. You could call it a strategic arrangement. It allows you to fly what you really wanted to fly, but at a loss. So again, that might be your strategy. You give your opponent a point, but you know already, I'm going to kill this guy by turn 8 or this girl by turn 8, and it's going to be over before that point even matters because I just have 3 killer aces loaded with torps and actions, and I'm going to win. That's your prerogative. You can do that. I don't know if it's going to be successful because nobody knows that. If they do, they're lying to you. Just FYI, they don't know. All right, let's go back. A unit. Should we cover? Let's go back first. So, yeah, mission points. This is interesting because you really have to pay attention to it. So, guys, when you just half point something, it's going to stay at half points. You can't regenerate back any of that health and expect to go back up to your full points cost. If you are a 5-point ship, you get halved, meaning, you have 3 hull, 3 shield, total of 6. You take 3 damage. You're now at half health. You then take your total cost and round down. So if you're a 5-point ship, you're at 2.5 for half, rounding down. You're 2 points. That's how many points you give to your opponent. Now, when you get destroyed, it's half points rounding up. So if you're a 5-point ship and you're 2.5 half, you're now 3 points after you've been destroyed. So a total of 5. So just keep that in mind. Don't expect that when you half somebody, it's, you're a 5-point ship. All right, that's 3 points. I win. No. That's 2. You need 1 more to win. You need to either capture something or kill that guy and get the full 5 points. So just keep that in mind. It's not like, you kill someone, it rounds up to 3, and then when you kill them, you get the other 2. No, it's the other way around, which that's pretty interesting to me. Just keep that in mind when you're scoring points. And we're coming up with some nice scoring templates that we're going to show as soon as I get them in the mail. If a player concedes, which you can do, you destroy all your ships, not literally, but, points wise, and you give those to your opponent. You don't get to keep anything towards points. Everything goes to them, and then it's written down and scored. During the scenario, the player winning is determined by a base of scenario specific conditions, which is if you destroy your opponent, you win. If you score 20 points or more than 20 points and more than your opponent. Keep that in mind. So if you're both at 22 at the end of the round, the game continues as long as it's not round 12 and as long as your opponent isn't been destroyed. And then whoever scores the next point or whoever scores more points at the end of the next round is the winner, which I was thinking, I was like, oh, maybe they have it to where the first player gets to score a point and that makes them win. It's nope. So at the end of the round, I scored 3, you scored 3. We're still going. So keep that in mind. Lots to go through. I love this. And also players track their mission points through victory counters. I'll go over that real quick. So victory counters are going to be charge tokens, and you can use the points tokens from Epic. Just have them lined across your table edge, and you can just start using those to keep track of your points. And then also, that's what they have for the round counters right now, which I'm not overly impressed with, but I'm sure they're going to have more stuff down the road. Plus, I mean, we have round counters. Curlpaw has round counters. I know other companies have round counters, so you can always go out and, throw them a couple internet dollars and, support them. And then you get a nice nifty dial that I usually have sitting right here, and I don't. It's gone. I think it's behind me. It's not. Anyways, so just keep that in mind. You have to keep track of your rounds. You both can do it, or one of you can do it together, basically. All right, here's your rules for squad building. Again, 20 points. There are still all 7 factions. There's going to be limited and solitary cards. A squad's card are required by the name or the initial card and something card. Basically, there's going to be cards that you can only take one of. There is a banned list, so you're going to have to check that out. There are cards that are just literally banned unless it's an extended play because they don't like them. There is a restricted list. So there are things that you're going to sometimes be able to take in a scenario and sometimes not. So that's entirely up to the organizer. You're going to have to pay attention to that to see if there is restrictions. But we'll take that as is right now. So far, I don't see anything that says it's, you can't take this in scenario X. There's squad points, the loadout value, which we talked about, the amount of points you can spend on upgrades for each ship. Each one is going to be different, even on the same ship type. There's builder keywords, there's upgrades, and there's going to be, of course, loadout points, which is the same kind of thing as loadout value. All right, we finally know what a unit is. Everybody. We know what a unit is. It's a shipper remote. We knew it. We figured it out. Yeah, here's your victory counters, which are those little epic tokens. If you don't have them, just use, charge tokens or something like that for the time being. Again, you can print them out on your home printer. They come in one of the PDF sheets. And then winning the game, which is either you score by mission points or you table your opponent, basically. It's pretty easy. I mean, it's very little added to it. And there's deficit. All right, this I think is bumping. Yeah, they did a lot of blue here, but it's what we already know. Once the ship is no longer on top of another ship, place it so that it's touching the last ship. It backed over. I don't like how it says backed over because the ship doesn't really back up. Some do, but whatever. This may result in the ship not leaving its initial position. Then check its difficulty. It suffers those effects. And now, if you overlap a ship that was friendly or allied, you roll an attack die. On a hit or a crit, that ship suffers a damage, and it skips its perform action step. If it overlapped an enemy ship and it was not stressed, it may perform a focus or calculate action on its action bar, treating it as red. Then you skip your perform action step, which I like because there would be some combinations that would let you, like, all of a sudden you're like, all right, I know I'm going to bump. I want my free focus for bumping, and I'm going to take another action. So here's, cybernetic calculation. No, you can't. You take the red focus, calculate, or nothing. You don't get to, sit there and comboing all day. The ship can't perform any additional actions, and if this was a simultaneous overlap of a friendly and allied or enemy ship, you suffer the results of if it was a friendly ship. So if all of a sudden you bump yourself and another enemy ship, it treats it as if it was a friendly ship. You don't get the focus. So keep that in mind. There are your player markers. They're pretty nice. One red, one blue. You're going to use this to, figure out in certain scenarios which player is which, and also to help you keep track and score and of what each person has towards their goal, mission, whatever. I like blue and red. That's a solid color. I wish they would have done green and red, but what are you going to do? Beggars can't be choosers here. All right. If you want to look at the blaze, go to our last video. We explain everything about the blaze. It is a lot of bomb to go through. It's basically a bomb that explodes like a normal bomb. Then it drops a template behind it. The template has rules. It's an obstacle. You can overlap it just like an obstacle. It starts with a fuse marker and it does some damage. I think that came out as 4 points in the new document. It's a pretty tricky bomb. I'm probably going to use it because it's 4 points. But yeah, it's something interesting. That's how you can build. And then there is the way that you can start your scenarios. All right. That is basically everything that I could find in the rules document. There is more to go over. We'll call it now for just a little bit. I do want to go over at least some of these points here. So where is... Oh, I don't have it here. All right, let's just go to the close-up here. So we've got some ship... Or no, not ship upgrades. We've got the ships themselves. And I'll interact with this. Okay. So you're going to see things like, and let me, because this is a large document. I think it's like 19 pages or something like that. You'll notice that certain things can take the Moldy Crow and others that can't. So you're going to see that, and I'm trying to see, this is Moldy Crow. Am I in the upgrades? Hold on a sec. I'm in the wrong one. Let me go back to ship here, because that makes more sense. There we go. So you're going to notice like certain ships can take the title while others can't. So we have, where is the Hawk here? Where are you, Hawk? Get back here. There it is. So you'll notice that certain things can take the title and others can't. Like the Rebel Scout can't take the Moldy Crow upgrade. Kyle Katarn can. Same thing in the Scum. I believe only one of them could take it, which might have been Pavlov. That's what I call him. Pavlov. Escape Route, Fang Fighter. Where are you? Yep. So the only one of the Scum that can take it is Palab. He's the only Scum Hawk that can take the title. So they're trying to also move in the thematic way for these ships. Same thing with like the punishing one on the toilet seat. And I'm trying to think of others off the top of my head. I even think the Decimator, certain ones can take it. Yeah, the Lancer Pursuit Class Shuttle, like Asajj can't take the title, but Ketsu and Sabine can, and stuff like that. The other one I wanted to check was, did Boba get Bounty Hunter? That was a big thing, because look at that. Who was right? Wait, hold on. Who was right? This guy. Boba Fett is a bounty hunter, so now he can take bounty hunter upgrades. So everything in that Mandalorian pack he has access to. That's big. However, if you notice, Boba Fett is 10 points. So he will be literally half of your list if you attempt to take him. And then everyone remembers the other list, which was the Separatist list with the 2 fire sprays. Yeah, I don't know, Jango Fett and the other one. They can't fit together because they're too many points. So you need 3 ships. It only allows for 2. So you got to think of something else. You can't fly that list anymore, which I'm not going to say it was going to be bad in this new format, but they're making it to where you can't. And I just want to scroll down to that as well. Where is it? The Aether Sprite. Where are you? There we go. So you'll also notice certain things like the Delta 7 Aether Sprite. There's no title on any of these Delta 7s. Why? Because they're making them to where they're their own cards. That means you no longer take the Delta 7 and then slap the title on it. You take a Delta 7B Aether Sprite title, or take an Aether Sprite card instead. It will have the hull, it will have the shields, and all that. I should even try to pull this up real quick for you guys. Let's go back to here in X-Wing, just for the video people, in X-Wing documents. Because if you go to the atomicmassgames.com/X-Wing-documents, you'll find everything on that page. I like how it's designed. It's kind of a pyramid down, or a tornado-looking thing, to where all the buttons are there. You can click on any of them. It brings you to exactly what you're clicking on or requesting. I want to see if they're in here. Yep, here we go. So I'm just going to share this real quick. Go into ship upgrades here. Paste. Is it going to show it? Oh, no, because it's a PDF. Of course it does. All right, let me share my screen 1 sec. Oh, no, it came up. Beautiful. All right, so let me interact. I think it was downloading it. So you're going to see that. And here it is. So here's Plo Koon. It's 3 hull, 3 shields. It's literally the picture with the fine-tuned controls and the ability, and it gets all the upgrades. So it's going to be something where you could print these out and use them. They said they're legal. I'm sure someone is going to let you use something as a proxy, but AMG is trying to make it to where You don't have to use 2 different cards. You're going to be able to use exactly what's printed for that title. And now, as you can see, what does that say? For pinpoint tracked array, you cannot rotate your arc to your back after you fully execute a maneuver. You may gain 1 tractor to perform a rotate. So they fixed. I will say, hold on, let me go over here. They've fixed it. You now have to fully execute a maneuver. You can't bump and tractor yourself off of someone and then shoot, which is absolute great. The Buzz Droids, I know they lowered the agility by 1 because they didn't think that was fair. We've got Berbercrat. We've got all these guys. There's different rules updates. I highly recommend it. We're going to do another video to where we go through each one of these cards. I just wanted to show you these real quick, to where each card's going to be different. You can use them, print them out, do whatever you want, or just, keep it in the back of your mind that that's not what's on the card anymore. Yeah, see now, Captain Oinkin, while you perform an attack at attack range 0, treat it as an attack at attack. That's why there are 4 attacks in there. Range 1. So you basically get to treat it as 1. You use your mods normal. You can get that range bonus as well. Wow. All right. Any questions from you guys in chat? I know we've been going for about an hour now, which is perfect. We like to keep it quick for everyone. That's why we went over the brief summary in the beginning for everyone. This is a lot to take in. It really is. Try to have fun with it. Like, I've already been going back and looking at some of the lists that I previously had. So, I mean, I used to fly 4 TIE fighters with Nash in the Interceptor and a Space Cow because it fit perfectly. I could use Sloane, and it doesn't fit anymore because the Space Cow isn't legal in tournament format, and the shuttle that I used, which was I think it was Psy, he can't fit Sloane anymore because Sloane's 16 points, so he can only fit 14. So I said, cool, what's the Decimator look like? So I looked at the Decimator. I could fit that with multiple TIE fighters and Nash and Sloane and more upgrades because I could take Rack. So don't think that for a second anything is going to be, oh, well, they took away my ship. Trust me, you're going to be able to build things you've never built before, and you're going to be able to look at ships that you wanted to fly but never even considered because of the limitations of how the game was in the beginning. And trust me, I can speak from experience because we've done this before. We've done it to where a friend of ours took 8 TIE fighters all with Juke because that's the way we built the scenario. I know that doesn't work here for this situation, maybe with some of the TIE fighters, but I mean, he had a blast, and then he ended up taking, I think, 8 bombers or something like that because he could. And he completely decimated, and I took aces. I was able to beat him, but then he beat someone else the next time. So don't just think for a second like this is going to be hurtful. Aces are dead. Don't even think that for a second because you will have the opportunity possibly to even fly 4 aces and load them all out because, again, there's a friend of ours that loves the Resistance A-Wings, and he hated the fact that FFG took away the fact that he could fly 5 of them all kitted out. And I said, hey, how about you try looking at 4 of them again and loading them out because most of them can take anywhere from 13 to 14 points. And he was like, cool, that's definitely something I want to take a look at. So, I mean, whew, my mouth is dry. Give it a shot. Let us know what you think below, please. Don't just immediately hate on it. And don't leave a comment. They ruined the game. I'm selling my stuff. I mean, if you are, contact me. I might buy it from you for very cheap and take control of it. And we're going to try to get out to the game tables and get some games on stream for you guys. I'm trying to see if we can do it maybe this weekend, something. I don't of course, with COVID and all that. At least even stream it online. I don't even know. And then I'm going to try to give away some prizes next stream as well. Because, again, I've got tons of stuff I would love to give away. And this, I think, is the perfect time to do it. So thank you guys once again. Please, where the heck are we? Twitch. Go ahead and click the follow button so that you're alerted next time we go live. If you're watching this on YouTube, go ahead and click the like button, leave a comment below, let us know what you think about the new rules and what you're excited for, what you absolutely hate. We don't care. And then also click the subscribe button so that you know when we get a new video down there, because we're going to be posting more content, a lot more content now that we have all the rules. And then finally, if you're listening to us on our podcast, thank you for listening. Definitely click the follow button so that you know that when we have a new episode, because guess what? This either Friday or Saturday, we're going to be here with Sean Tiernan, recording for his changes to HOTAC and finding out, because he pretty much had everything done and then he saw the rules and he's like, I've got more work to do. So we're going to see what he comes up with for the future of HOTAC, because again, scenarios and objectives are a thing. So it's going to be new experience for a lot of people. I hope you guys stick around. I hope you enjoy playing as much as I will. And yeah, play casual. See ya later. Thank you again for watching our video. Please click on the like, subscribe, and share button below to help build the channel. Thank you to all of our Patreon members. Your devotion to us, it's driving us to do more content all the time, and we're going to keep bringing you as much as possible. If you want to join any of our social media accounts, you can see them above and in the description below are the links to each of them. You can join our Discord, our 2 Facebook channels, our 2 YouTube channels. We go live on Twitch Saturdays and Sunday nights, and you can also go over to our recontokens.com webpage where you can buy all the latest and greatest tokens for all of your favorite games. And if you don't see them there, go ahead and email us at recontokens@gmail.com, and we can build a custom token, or we can even incorporate your logo into the token, and you can play with them, use them as any type of marker. So thank you again, and have a good day.